Okay, so I have no idea of what I'm actually doing for this vlog. Other than I want it to be like evil toy themed, evil doll themed, and that's really tough because I have read and watched a lot of evil doll, evil toy stuff over the years since my last reading vlog, reading evil doll books. So yeah, the pickings are slim. Is that a thing to say? Anyways, I did start The Toymaker by Sergio Gomez yesterday. It was March 1st. And I had a really crazy day, so I didn't get a ton of reading done. I'm about 30% into this one, but it is really long. It's over 500 pages on the Kindle. It is available on KU. And this is about a guy who moves with his new wife to a small town from Philadelphia, still in Pennsylvania. It's funny because it's like such a generic Pennsylvania name. It's like Dutch County, which I was like, if you've driven through Pennsylvania, you've seen a lot of Dutch counties, I feel like. And they moved to this little town, and his neighbor's a bit eccentric. He makes his own toys and he displays them in the window like every season. I think that would be adorable, but to the kids and to adults, it's a little weird. It's a little creepy. And I'm about to get a backstory, I believe, from the Toymaker. And you get his POV, you get POV of the neighborhood kids and the adults. So it is like a lot going on. This is like a Stephen King-esque book, I feel like, because it is so long and it goes into a lot of detail about like everything. So yeah, if you don't like that, then you probably won't like this one. But I'm in it. There's been some creepy parts already with the Toymaker. And yeah, I'm very interested to see where it goes, and like just knowing Sergio Gomez from the Camp Slaughter books, how violent it will get. So I'm kind of like waiting for that. As for movies, another very difficult thing to pick out a movie that I have not seen, but I did find one, and that is Dolly Dearest from 1991. This is a killer doll slasher, and the cover of it is fantastic. It has like the face of the doll on it. Looks so great. So hopefully I'll be watching this one today. I do work, but you guys know my part-time job. If I'm not too busy, I get to do other things. So hopefully getting some reading done, possibly watching Dolly Dearest. If not, I'll watch it when I get home tonight. But yeah, those are my evil toy plans. Yesterday I saw Dune Part 2, and I actually really liked it. I thought I was gonna hate it as much as the first one. I was just very upset with the first one because it literally ends right before one of my favorite parts from the books. If you guys don't know, I read the first 5 Dune books, so I'm a bit of a Dune nerd. I'm a huge Jessica stan. I love Jessica and Aaliyah. They're my favorite characters, and it just got very crazy and weird, and the further you go in that series. But yeah, I've also watched, I think, Children of Dune, the TV show, and I love the David Lynch version with Sting. I absolutely love that version. And I have like it just warms my heart. So when Denis Villeneuve, you know, his movie came out, and it just looks so boring. Like the first one for sure. And the first one is very slow and boring, and it's literally all omphometers. But the second one had omphometers on it to where it hurt my ears and my teeth, like, because I saw it in an IMAX. It was just like every time there was an omphometer, my head felt like it was about to explode. But other than that, I really liked it. The Reverend Mother ceremony kicked ass. It was like literally what I pictured when I read the books. And yeah, it was fantastic. I will stop talking about it. I'm just really happy I liked it, and it wasn't like the first one. where I was sitting there for 3 hours falling asleep, literally falling asleep. So yeah, that was exciting. I'm glad Alex made me go. And this week too, since I haven't vlogged since 72 hours, I did make scrunchies. Ooh, crochet update as I throw it on the floor. But I was just trying out some different yarns. So I found, well, this is like the yarn I've been using, but I was using up a skein of it. So this one's kind of a small scrunchie. And then this one I got on clearance, and it's like really, really soft, like unicorn colors. I thought was really pretty. And then just like I found this one too that I just had around. It's just like a blue. This is my Heather, my Veronica scrunchie. And then a scrunchie to match my cardigan with the same yarn that I had left over. I think I will make another one of these today, I don't know. And then last night at my job, I actually worked at the theater. That's the popcorn. I was the popcorn girl. That's a site I work at sometimes. Very rarely I work there, but it is so much fun. It's like a Art Deco 1930s theater, and it's like $1 a movie. It's very cute. It's very cute. But I do get downtime there, and I made this scrunchie. This is the Juicy Couture Velvet, and I did make it very, very fluffy. This is actually for somebody at work that requested a dark purple scrunchie and a black scrunchie. So I'm going to try to, I do have some black yarn, but it's not the Juicy Couture. I just got this at Joann's. It's Dollar Tree velour. So we'll see. It's definitely not going to hold up because I noticed this one is actually staying together, and I've worked with the Dollar Tree yarn and it has not. So my crochet plans this week are to finish a vest, the Red Heart Granny Square vest, which I've slowly been working on those granny squares because if you caught any of my lives or my reading sprints this past week for book club, I was having difficulties with it. So we'll see how that goes. And then I really am insanely behind on my genre blanket. So I'm going to try to catch up on that today. I think I'm just going to focus on maybe a couple scrunchies, genre blanket, reading, and yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so it has been a full day since I checked in, but I did manage to finish 2 books. I finished The Toymaker by Sergio Gomez. Boy oh boy. This book was really, really long, almost 600 pages. I might be wrong. It's like 530, 560, I don't know. It was very long, and I feel like it just didn't have the payoff I really wanted. This turned into, it felt very Stephen King-esque at the beginning of it when we're introduced to like all the kids and stuff, and it's the kids who discover the evil that brings the dummy to life. And I was like, okay, this is like it, and yeah, it ended up being like that. It was really ridiculous. It actually had me laughing a lot out loud, just how ridiculous it ended up being. Like, I could tell you guys a spoiler, but before I go to spoilers, I'll do a timestamp. I'm gonna give it 2 stars because it just was a lot, and it didn't have the payoff I really wanted. But anyways, Toymaker spoilers. Okay. What had me LOLing so much in this is the dummy itself, like, okay, is brought back to life, or is brought to life by these kids because each of these kids fulfills prophecy or something, where an ancient ceremony was done by 2 teenage girls back in the day. Anyways, but so this ancient evil spirit demon thing goes into the dummy. The dummy feels like it needs to protect these kids, or thinks it needs to protect these kids' well-being, so that it stays alive in the dummy. Okay, so we get, his name is Lucas, the dummy, and we get him basically going around the town killing anybody that, like, is causing any of these kids harm. So he's straight up, like, carrying a gun or a knife, but, like, the gun was really funny when he got his hands on a gun. And he ends up, like, shooting people and stuff, and it's just ridiculous to think about. Okay, that's it for spoilers for the Toymaker. But yeah, I just wanted like a little bit more suspense or something in this. Like, I feel like with doll movies and doll books, you get like the suspense and stuff of it. Like, oh, the dummy like moved a little and everything, and like, did we just see that or something? And that does happen, but the length of the book compared to like anything suspenseful happening, it's like, it does not add up, right? There's also a couple slurs used in this, the R slur, the F slur, and I need to look up when this was written, because I'm like, seriously? Like, I feel like this is a more modern book. But yeah, 2 stars, super long. If you want something very zany out there that is like Stephen King, then you might like this one. But yeah, again, I just needed like more scenes to be like suspenseful and stuff, like people not know it's gonna be a dummy with a gun, you know. Okay. And then the other book I ended up reading was a collection of short stories by Rachel Harrison, and is Bad Dolls. And the other stories aren't doll related, they're all a bit supernatural though, and they did have like those I almost said like those girl vibes in it. It's like, yeah. They had those vibes of like female friendship, and like just, it felt very normal, everything going on in this, until it's like not, for certain stories. Like there's one about a bachelorette party that kind of takes a little bit of a turn, and I don't know, that felt like relatable, but also I would have a different reaction to it than our main character did. So it was just like really, really fun. And then the Bad Doll story is like a grief story. We're following a girl who just lost her little sister, and she ends up moving into like an old Victorian house in her small town, and she finds a doll, and there's some stuff going on with the doll. And she's just, yeah, creeped out by it. There's some legit creepy stuff that happens in this, and it's so funny because it's very menacing. Like, this doll is incredibly menacing, and for it being a short story, I actually got what I really like in doll stories or evil toy stories than what I got in the 600-page Toymaker. It's like you get the evilness in it, and it definitely came through. But I love this collection of short stories. I've been meaning to read it forever. I've had it on Audible for a while. I think I caught it like on a sale or something, and it's just been sitting there, but I'm glad I finally listened to it. And yeah, it's a very quick little listen, and I'm gonna give it, I think, 4 stars. It might be like 4.5 or something closer to that. I do feel like the end of Bad Doll's story just kind of ended for me, and I just wanted a little bit more. But it is a really good story. I hope she expands on that one day, maybe like writes a whole book. I think would be really interesting. But yeah, 4 stars for that one. And then we just have to talk about freaking Dolly Dearest. This is my new favorite doll movie I have seen. I did end up watching it at work the other day when I said I would, and I really liked it. I really enjoyed this. Denise Crosby, she brings it. She brought it in this. She's so good. Sam Bottoms, if you guys don't know, Sam Bottoms is in Apocalypse Now and like The Last Picture Show, like really iconic films, and he's just like a generic 90s dad in this, and he's like lame, and I'm like, what happened to you? Sam Bottoms used to be dropping acid and like holding kittens and stuff in Vietnam. Like, what happened? But he's like, he's one of the dad characters, like, nothing's going on here, get back to work, everybody. But this premise is ridiculous. It's this family who moves to South America to run a doll factory, and there's already a bunch of dolls there, and they give the doll to their little girl, and she starts acting a bit funny, and what it ends up being, it could be very insensitive, and I don't think would fly today. It ends up being like an indigenous spirit that indigenous Mayan people wanted to create an antichrist, and this is what happened, and it actually shows like a baby skeleton with horns in it, so I will give it props for that. It was very, very entertaining, and there's scenes in it where the doll's face like just turns like human almost, and like has human teeth. Very disturbing. I loved it. It was great. The little brother in this is so obnoxious though. Like, I know he's the quintessential 90s brother, but he was very annoying, and I think he was supposed to be comic relief, and I was just like, get out of here, kid. I need more of the doll and like evil kid stuff going on. There's also a kill scene in this that's hilarious because the dude was being super sexist to the doll. He's like, why aren't you making me dinner? And it's like a doll, and you're being like sexist to the doll. Like, the way that Dolly's head turns is like, fuck you, dude. It's great. I'm like, yeah, you have to kill him now. And yeah, I just had a blast with it. I am very close to giving this movie 5 stars. For some reason, I kept thinking about it and how much fun I had with it. It's available free on YouTube. It is an absolute blast, and I hope a lot of people end up watching it, and just so I can talk about it, because it's like so goofy and silly, and yeah, I've never even heard about it. So I ended up finding a new movie that I absolutely love. As for my next book, I really am not sure which doll book I'm going to read next, or evil toy book. I haven't really found any just like generic evil toy books, if that makes sense. Like, it just, I've searched for it and I like haven't found any. So what the heck? Wait, this isn't even a evil toy book. This is a freaking evil kid book, like psychological, like serial killer horror.
Because I like the cover.
Okay, well, I'll read it because you like the cover. Wait, why can't you talk?
Because you took me to the graveyard.
Okay, cool. Alright, so I guess I'm reading The Bad Seed, and then I will actually move on to actual evil doll, evil toy books / more movies. Hopefully I will get in some more movies. I do think there's one on Tubi that I'm very scared to watch because it looks absolutely terrible. But we will yeah, see what happens next, since I got a talking doll on my hands now, so that's great. Beans, what do you think about there being a sentient doll now we have to live with? Do you like that? Has she been nice to you? You seem sad. You seem very sad. Don't be sad.
Nice dancing, Benji. Keep it up, doll boy. That's so great. No more dance. Nice dancing, Benji. Woohoo!
So a very quick check-in. I did finish Bad Seed because my new friend wanted me to read this, and I liked it. I did like it. The friend in this was a lot. She was really obnoxious, but I kind of got that because I've seen the movie before, so this was exactly like the movie. I feel like pretty much beat by beat, and yeah, it was good. It is like a psychological horror book, I would assume, like getting into the psyche of like the little girl, and yeah, but some of the things the friend said like was super offensive. Like I'm not gonna get into it because it was published in the 60s, but I was like, are you serious right now? Why are you saying stuff like that? But yeah, it was good. It was kind of funny too, like the back and forth between, I guess, the groundskeeper and Rhoda was more funny to me than in the movie. It was just like, I don't know, I was cracking up listening to it. This is available on Everand, and this was also in my 24 and 24 paperbacks from hell. So I'm glad I knocked it out. I think I'm gonna give it a 4. Honestly, it would be a 5 if I just hated this character's part so much. I was like, every time you talk, I just hate it. So yeah, that would be a 4. So yeah, thanks for making me read that, whatever your name is. Anyways, I started Charlotte Says by Alex Bell last night, and I made a pretty good chunk into it. I'm like 90 pages in. It is so fun. This is the prequel to Frozen Charlotte, so we actually start out in 1910 at the girls' school, and a new like school mistress, is that what they're called? Like a teacher, shows up, and the head person is like super mean, of course, and she gets mailed a package of some frozen Charlottes, and it's very creepy. There's lots of little giggling, little tapping, little scratches happening, that I am very much enjoying. It was fun to read just with my book light in the dark. So I'm having fun, and I totally forgot that Amy McCall sent this to me with the sign book template for doing the book club for Frozen Charlotte last year. So yeah, I am very much enjoying this one, and sadly I did not like Deadly Dolly or whatever, the trauma doll movie. I don't know, how did you feel about it? I don't have your name, I don't know your name, because I just hated this so much. This is a trauma movie, and don't get me wrong, I actually like trauma movies. Alex is in a trauma movie, The Taint, if you guys ever want to look that up. And yeah, I honestly was thinking of it, I was like, I don't think we would have met if he wasn't in this movie. Maybe I'm being like dramatic, but yeah, so I love Toxic Avenger as well. What's another trauma movie? The Kentucky Fried USA or whatever. Hilarious. This one though, okay, I think it came out in 2016. Not good. It's very predictable. Also, it felt like it was trying to be 2 different movies at the same time. Like, there's this like people like getting hurt or dying from beauty products, and then there's like a serial killer kid aspect to it. So it was really bad. I think I'm gonna give it a 1 star. But you know what, trauma movies, I don't want to say they're important, but they're fun. And they're goofy, and you know, they try really hard. So yeah, and I might be biased too, because yeah, Alex is in a trauma movie. I've met Lloyd Kaufman, and the hilarious, super nice, and funny, and yeah, just all around, like, they're all very goofy and fun movies. This one wasn't even like fun or even that funny at times, so yeah, I was kind of bummed about that. But I think I'm gonna watch Dolls by Stuart Gordon just to kind of wipe the slate clean, get a little bit of a doll refresher, and finish Charlotte Says, and then I have 1 more evil toy book to read for this vlog. So yeah, I will check in later. Okay, so just a really quick check-in, because I am running late for work as usual, but I did want to do the check-in in my car, in my lame wear clothes, but it has been a full day, but I did do some reading, so I finished Frozen Charlotte. No, Charlotte Says, the prequel to Frozen Charlotte, and I really liked this. I would love to read like this whole series because it's just like has those cozy vibes, but also like it goes there with the violence and the scariness. Like what happens in this is so incredibly dark. It's how I felt about Frozen Charlotte actually. I felt like Frozen Charlotte is a YA book. These are YA books technically, but I'm like, oh my gosh, like they go there. They go there with the darkness. What happens in this is so crazy to me. I was like, oh my gosh, and very scary and great. There's a lot of like spiritualism stuff in this, like seances and everything that set the vibe, and then a school setting. So yeah, if you're looking for something to read, I guess for Ramadan. But yeah, it was really good. I think I like this one a little more than Frozen Charlotte actually, just because it got really, really gnarly, and yeah, loved all the doll action in it. A plus. I think I'm leaning towards like a really high 4, or like 4.5. I don't know. I really liked it. I had a lot of fun with it. And yeah, it read very quickly too. If you look, it's definitely set up like a YA book. And now on to the not so great read, Puzzle Master by Danielle Thorne. That's not it. I forget this author's name, but I am 60% into this one, and I think I'm gonna DNF. I was just in the chat for Ramathon sprints on Lexi's channel, and Lexi has read this, and I do remember her saying like it is really weird religious stuff, but then she just said, oh yeah, it's like the Da Vinci Code in it, and I'm like, okay, I think I'm gonna check out because it's really ridiculous. Like even the setup of it is really ridiculous. I think it's like about this puzzle master who gets like he gets invited to like a jail, a prison where this famous author murdered her husband or boyfriend or something in a house in a room full of dolls, which caught my attention. This is why this book was on my radar, of course, for the sake of dolls. And basically she can't talk or whatever. She's like communicating through puzzles. She kisses him. It's very, very out there and cheesy, but like there's all this conspiracy stuff going on, and then you start to get flashbacks of like this dude making a golem. It's a lot. It's a lot going on, but what's happening in it isn't doll stuff, I don't think. Like it's like a bunch of other stuff happening around dolls stuff. I don't know. It's bizarre. So I think I'm gonna DNF it. And I did, the last book I was planning to read, I was like, is Dollies, of course, by Pat Graverson, but I got my loan in a puppet master, puzzle master. So I really wanted to get into that. I wanted to be into this book, and I'm just not. Anyways, Dollies, I am about 40 pages in. I started it last night, and oh my gosh, it's very zebra horror. I'm loving it. I am absolutely loving it. The intro in this is kind of like the ending. It's at the beginning, which is one of my favorite things in any sort of media format or art format, like books and movies. If you have like a little glimpse of the ending at the beginning, I'm there for it. I love that teaser. But yeah, we're following this real estate agent, and she's trying to sell this house. There's a room of very, very creepy dolls, and the owners of said creepy dolls just gave her a creepy doll to take home, and she is already freaking out. I'm loving it. I think it's going to be really, really fun. Then I watched Dolls to kind of, you know, palate cleanse from a bad doll movie, and I absolutely love this movie. I'm a huge Stuart Gordon fan. If you guys don't know, I love that director. I love Reanimator. I have a very special place in my heart for Dagon and Castle Freak, and yeah, I'm just a fan, okay? It's like a cozy film for me. It has these great gothic vibes to it too that I never got before, but there's definitely like a 5-minute scene where the character Ralph is just like walking around with a little girl with like a huge like candelabra, and yeah, it's great. It's fantastic. It's really funny. It's zany and goofy, and the effects are amazing. And I was talking to my doll, but she stopped talking to me because I asked her what other books are just generally on your radar if you want me to read, but she stopped talking, which is really sad. I am trying to get an actual haunted doll my friend is selling, but you know when your friends are selling haunted dolls, like, it's kind of shady, and I'm like, dude, like, that's, you know, he said he'd deliver it. It like never showed up this week. It is already like it's Thursday this week. Like, I don't know what's going on with him. But yeah, I was trying to get another haunted doll, maybe to like keep her company or something, but yeah, she's not talking anymore. Maybe I have to take them all back to what if I took them all to the graveyard? That would be so funny. But also, crochet wise, I might have to move you back over here. I haven't been doing a lot. I made some scrunchies. I did finish my genre blanket from last month. It's insanely big right now. As you can tell, I made the decision to go ahead and do like half double crochets around. I think I'm going to switch it to just one side per book because it's huge. It's huge already. We knew this was going to happen. I did about 5 more rows of the granny square, and then I was like, yeah, I'm going to have to switch to half double crochet, and then I was like, okay, I'm going to have to switch to just a corner of half double, which is fine because I think it's gonna make it look less uniform and more like whimsical if I do that. But yeah, I finished that. That was a lot. I made some scrunchies at work yesterday, and then I'm working on the fabulous granny square vest. These granny squares have kind of been the vein of my existence, but I did it, and I'm doing a short vest, so it looks stupid right now. It might just look stupid, and I'm okay with that. But yeah, I don't know if you guys, I might try to sit up a little bit here. It's hard to see, but yeah, I'm only doing like, I'm cutting down a row, if that makes any sense. So I still have to sew the back of this together. I do not like sewing. I realized I'm a crocheter. I'm not a sewer. I'm doing the whip stitch, and it's a pain in the butt. But that is it for this check-in. I'm going to attempt to see Imaginary. I'm not exactly sure when that will be happening, but I will definitely include it in this vlog. And finish Dollies. Okay, so it is pretty early in the morning. I think it's been a couple of days since I last checked in. I wanted to see Imaginary for this vlog because it does have an evil toy in it, technically an evil teddy bear, who I think is adorable. The teddy bear is the best part of this movie. I'm just gonna say it, the movie is not good. I think Megan is a lot better. It went there with the PG-13 rating. Imaginary, this could have been rated G or PG at least. Like, there is very little blood in it. If there's blood, I'm trying to think if there's like tiny bit. And yeah, there's just, I think there's like one kill scene or something in it, while, you know, Megan took that PG-13 and they really pushed it. But yeah, I make the comparison because I believe Megan's Blumhouse as well, if I'm correct. I might be wrong, but yeah, I was not impressed. And I was kind of bored. It was like very mediocre. If you don't know the premise of this, it's like about a woman who is a children's book author, and the children's book actually seemed interesting. It gave me like Coraline vibes, and then she is like moving back into her house with a blended family, so there's conflict, but it's just very generic and mediocre, and I was kind of bored. And then stuff like didn't really make sense either. It was, I don't know, it had those cheesy vibes that I really like in movies too, and it just didn't work for me. I feel like there's a way to do cliches and be mediocre, and it will still work if you like kind of push the limits, I guess. That's what works for me usually. So I'm very sad I didn't like this. I was really excited about it. I want more evil doll, evil kid movies and stuff out there, and this just did not work at all. So sad. I think honestly I'm leaning towards a 2 or 2.5, because I did enjoy something at the end, like one little thing at the very end, but there wasn't enough of it. So yeah, I'm conflicted. Also, Chauncey teddy bear, very cute. It's very cute. There's a part where he's like angry looking, and it's like his little eyebrows. It's absolutely adorable. But yeah, so bummed about that one. People were actually walking out of the theater and like not coming back on my viewing. There wasn't a lot of people there either, so it was kind of funny. But I finished Dollies. I always want to call it Dolls. Dollies by Pat Craverson, and this kind of fell apart for me towards the end, or middle towards the end. I think it had a really great setup and a great start, and it really started strong, did not finish strong. What this ended up being is actually more sci-fi, which is interesting because I feel like doll books from my experience are mostly supernatural stories, but this was more sci-fi, but also it just left more questions and more plot holes about that. But yeah, I think I'm leaning towards a 3 for it. I wish there was like a little bit more stuff in it that happened. Like it started off really strong, and I thought, oh gosh, yeah, we're gonna get a lot of doll stuff in it, but it didn't really work. It turned out to be like human stuff in it, and that just was really boring to me. So sadly, leaning towards the 3. And I do know this is like a pretty rare book, so still, thank you so much, Kelsey from Simon Slasher. She sent this to me a couple years ago, and I'm finally getting to it. And I do think if you see it, someone definitely pick it up, and it is worth a read. But yeah, I wish it just gave more killer doll vibes in it. And there's also like some stuff with the main character in this that just didn't work for me either. Like there's a part where she's a real estate agent, and she's like working and stuff, and there's a part where like a dude, I think it's her coworker, hands her like $500, and she's like, wow, I wish I didn't have to work actually. That would be great. She's like, I just want to be a kept woman. That would be great. And I'm like, what? Like, this job means so much to you, and you worked so hard, and you're just like, you know what? If men just want to give me money, that's fine. But I mean, I will support anybody who wants that. But it was just like, yeah, a guy wrote this, okay. But yeah, Dollies, I did it. It's on my 24 and 24. Very exciting to finally have read this. And as crochet updates, I didn't get a ton done, but I did finish this vest. Put down my thing. I need to weave in the ends, and then I kind of did a little bit of a trim at the bottom. I might turn it inside out because I feel like my sides look a little weird, but it's hard to see. You guys probably can't see it. I just did a granny stitch, like 3 rows on each side and connected it with a slip stitch. But yeah, I tried it on. It doesn't quite look like a life jacket. So that's just what I was going for, not the non-life jacket look. But yeah, I think it'd be cute with like a collared shirt or something. You know, you're trying to look professional with your granny square. And it just got kind of chilly here. Again, it was like pretty warm and now it's chilly. So I'll get some wear out of this before summer. So yeah. And as for my haunted doll update, she has not talked again. And my friend totally flaked on me about that other haunted doll. So I'm kind of sad about it. But yeah. This vlog was so much fun. I love the haunted doll trope. As you guys know, this is one of my children. I have like 3 other like Halloween dolls. I just think she's like the easiest to carry around because 2 are babies, 1's a giant puppet thing or like hanging thing and on a swing. But yeah. I love creepy baby dolls, as you guys can see. Hopefully one day I'll get a real one. Not that you're not real, but I think that would be like really cool. I want a room full of dolls. It's like hashtag goals for me. But anyways, I'm ranting right now. Let me know if you guys have any haunted doll, evil toy recommendations, movies, or books. You guys know I love it, and I hope you guys have a fantastic day and a great week. Bye! Waiting for her to say bye.